everyone, and welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium, where this afternoon the North Quincy Raiders will play host to the Panthers of Plymouth South High School. My name is Jonathan Clary. Thanks for tuning into this edition of QA-TV Sports. I'm being joined in the booth by Jim Timmons. And Jim, North Quincy came off a big victory last week against Quincy High School, winning that annual tradition game 21-0. And here now in the Fisher Division Championship game against Plymouth South, and looking to have a successful season, even more successful with a victory here today.
Yeah, this is quite something. Although it's an abbreviated season, it's been quite a season for the Red Raiders. They're all pumped up for today's game, a championship game here, hosted at Veterans Stadium against an experienced, tough Plymouth South team. So we're really looking forward to the action here, John. Welcome all the viewers aboard. I know from last week that I heard from a lot of fans, actually I heard from both my fans, and I'm sure you hear it too, about the coverage, because folks aren't coming to the stadium, so the game is being, broadcast and shown live here. We're delighted for that, and we're going to pause for the national anthem.
What so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the
We also want to welcome folks from Plymouth South that we know are listening. You were kind enough to share the information on how to access the game through our streaming service, and I know we're going to have folks in Plymouth listening, and we will do our best to present a non-partisan broadcast, but generally speaking, as the two amateurs that you and I are, John, I'm in the role of Tommy Heinsohn.
North Quincy won the toss,
you do a good job of
and
being
will
straight
defer
up,
and
but
kick
we can
off.
occasionally be
And
a bit
defend the
partisan,
north
but
goal.
we'll do what we can to
Plymouth South will
closely
receive
down
and defend the south
the middle
goal.
as possible. Plymouth South is going to be receiving to start the game. North won the toss, opted as it did last week, John, to kick, and they will take the second half kickoff. So the North defense is going to be out in the field first. Not a bad decision to make in a big game like this. Oftentimes teams like to have their defense out first and get rid of some of those pre-game jitters. We'll talk about the Plymouth South offense in a moment, led by a veteran and senior Hunter Dean, and then a freshman who's a real phenom. So we'll see how they do in their first drive. And here's the opening kick, and it's a good one.
Yep, Murray's going to kick it down to the 11-yard line where Plymouth South's going to field it. And Verheeren's going to go up the middle of the field and get brought down at about the 27-yard line. That was Matthew Mahoney, one of the captains for the Panthers on the return.
Nice special teams coverage by the Red Raiders. They've done an excellent job on those limited occasions that we have been able to see them this year. They've been excellent on the coverage, and they were again yesterday. You see the defensive captain, number 44, Matt Craig, a junior, a real leader on this team. He's a fullback, and he calls the defense under the tutelage of his dad, head coach Ryan Craig. So here we go with an empty backfield to start, John.
All right, Hunter Dean, the quarterback for the Panthers, is going to keep it himself, and he runs it right up the middle, and he's going to get to about the 30-yard line where he is met by a host of Raiders.
Quarterback Hunter Dean.
Yeah, the Raiders' strength on the defense Not that there's any weaknesses, but the two
29-yard line.
linebackers are
Tackled by
absolutely
a host of
terrific.
Raiders.
And on
That'll
that
bring up
particular play,
second
Mike Gorman
and 7.
and Matt
Those will
Craig
pick up a
both
3 yards.
ID'd what Dean was doing early, got in and plugged the gap that Dean wanted to hit. And so he's held to a gain of 2, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for Plymouth South.
All right, a handoff, actually a little pitch there to number 2, running back Cassius Johnson, freshman for the Panthers, had an outstanding season as Johnson, and as a freshman, and he's going to get up to about the 34-yard line on the run.
Yeah, you see number 2 there returning to the huddle, and although he's only a freshman, I noticed him in pregame warm-ups just due to his his pure physical size. He may be a freshman academically, but he's got the body of a young man much older, and that's been part of the reason for a lot of his success. Nice 4-yard gain there,
and Dean's going to keep it himself, fakes the handoff to Johnson. Liam Hines comes up with a great tackle to bring him down, but Hunter Dean gets across the 40, up to the 43, and a first down.
Yeah, well-designed play. The last time we saw Hunter Dean up here at Veterans Stadium, he really dominated. I recall that he was just up and down the field, showed great leadership. He's a very capable athlete as well. So the mixture of Dean and Johnson in the Plymouth South backfield, looks like they're going to check out, the trainer is coming out to check out Liam Hines on the tackle. You said he made a nice tackle. He cut down the rushing Dean, but in doing so, I wonder if he did something to his shoulder. So we'll have to see what happens there. In any event, back to Dean and his prowess in the backfield there. He's very talented, and now it's going to be complemented by the power running of Cassius Johnson, who's a terrific back. Fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10 for Plymouth South at the 43.
All right, Dean will keep himself in the shotgun over to the right side, has a hole, breaking through several tackles, and finally will get across the North Quincy 47-yard line when he was brought down, and another first down.
Yeah, that time tackled by Hunter McIsaac. You know that things aren't going the way you might wish when your defensive backs are bringing down the runners. That time McIsaac did a good job, wrapped up Dean's legs. Dean's another one who's big. We don't have the physical stats on these young men, but Dean, a senior, and Johnson, a freshman, are both physical, tough football players.
Cassius Johnson gets the ball now to the left side, and he's still fighting his way forward. Liam Hines and also number 88 for the Raiders, Colton Gary, come up to make the tackle.
Yeah, the first guy was Tom Murray from his linebacker position. Murray is the right outside linebacker, and he got right in and hit Johnson first to slow him down. And as you said, Gary, and it's nice to see number 11, Liam Hines, right back in. They finished the tackle. So good job of gang tackling by the Raiders. It's going to be a 2nd and 8.
Again, Dean in his shotgun, looking to pass for the first time. Pressure for the Raiders, and he's able to get out of the pressure, but not fully. And looking up, see for the sack there, number 79 for the Raiders, Harry Guadiano, to bring him down. And it looks like there's a flag on the play as well, though.
Loss of 1 on the play.
Let's see. We would expect a holding call here. Let's see what the officials say. That's a procedure call. So on that particular play, great job by the Red Raider coaching staff. They anticipated a pass play, John. They came with pressure. And on that particular play, that was the right call because Dean dropped back to pass. The pressure caused a little bit of reaction on the part of the Plymouth South squad. A couple of players moved early, so North declined the penalty.
Dean, a quick pass over to the left side, complete to number 5, P.J. Murphy.
Pass is
But North
complete to
Quincy
number
is there
5,
in a hurry,
P.J.
and Murphy
Murphy
will only get up to the 45-yard line, and that'll bring up a fourth
Murray
down.
on the tackle,
Nice
number
job by
28.
the
That'll
Red
bring
Raider
up
defense of
4th
stepping up,
and
John. They
9
were able to decline the
for the
penalty
Panthers.
because of the loss on the play.
There's a pickup of 2.
Plymouth South runs out of downs here, and now we're going to start the field position game as Plymouth South is going to punt from the North Quincy 45-yard line. Let's be
Back to
careful
punt
there's
for
not
the Panthers, number 7, Tyler
trick play
Doyle.
here. Looks like
Tyler-
they're gonna punt it away, and they do.
Tyler Doyle gets a line drive kickoff. Hunter McIsaac back for the Raiders at the 13-yard line, and he's only going to get a gain of maybe 5 in a play. Nice coverage
Murray on
downfield by the Panthers.
reception.
Well,
Tackled
nice
by
job by
number 15 for
McIsaac
the
of
Panthers.
fielding
That's
what
Declan
was
Davis.
a tough. You hate to see that football
Raiders will
bounce,
go on offense,
and
first and 10
that punt
from their own
did.
19-yard
But
line.
McIsaac fielded it cleanly, and now the Red Raider
quarterback,
offense is going to
number
come
10,
out.
Cooper
They
Hansen.
have their own experienced quarterback, only a junior, however, Cooper Hansen. So Hansen, number 10, will be out under center with Liam Hines in the backfield, and they're going to start with Murray in the backfield with Hines.
All right, first and 10 for the Raiders at their own 19-yard line. Tyler Lee goes in motion for North Quincy. Liam Hines gets the carry over to the left side, breaks through the hole. Nice job there by Liam Hines, still on his feet, and finally gets brought down at the 37-yard line. Great run there by Hines.
I'll tell you what, John, you'd hardly know that a week has passed. That's what we saw last week against the Quincy Presidents. You saw the fearsome 7-man line for the Red Raiders line up and just fire off the ball on the snap. And that's what they came out with today. Hines again picking the right gap and a big gainer. Red Raiders are out 37-yard line, as you said. New first down.
Cooper Hansen, the quarterback for the Raiders. Pitch goes over to the right side to Hines, and Hines will get across the 40 to the 41.
Liam Hines, taken down by number 3, that's Jackson Elliott.
Yeah, nice job by Plymouth
Across the 40
South.
to the 41. There's a pickup of
Plymouth South
4.
has got
Second
a
and 6 for the
terrific
Raiders.
defense themselves. The Red Raiders, you know, they have Coach Craig is very pleased with his defense. Well, on the other side of the ball, Darren Frizzuti, head coach at Plymouth South, really touts his defense and their performance. They have a couple of guys here that we're going to be talking about. That time, one of them, number 84, came with Jack Condon, came up with a big play.
Second down for North Quincy. Hines again on the carry, trying to get to the outside, breaks free, and he'll pick up the first down over to midfield and out of bounds at about the 49-yard line.
Out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
We talked last week about the size of Liam Hines. He's
Result of that
205
play is
pounds. He's got a lot of upper
Raider
body strength.
First down.
Well, the thing we first noticed about
Timeout.
Liam Hines when we saw him play as a sophomore, John, was his speed. And there you saw that speed. He was able to get outside and outrun the defense to get to the sideline. He turned it up for first down. So on the back of, or on the strength of Liam Hines running and the fine blocking of the Red Raider offensive line, North Quincy is already on the Plymouth South side of the field in their first possession. And they're going to be first and 10 from the Plymouth South 49-yard line. During the break, I think this is one of those MIAA breaks where they get the kids water and whatnot. During the break, well, maybe we'll have to talk about this later, maybe between quarters, but I saw North Quincy High track coach Jeff Hennessy on the way in. He's Liam Hines' uncle here to watch his nephews play, Liam and Brendan. And he told me that the North Quincy track teams, both the girls and the boys, won their respective league titles this spring. An impressive performance. So congratulations to the North Quincy track teams.
All right, first and 10 for the Raiders at the Plymouth South 49-yard line. Hines over to the left side, and runs into a pile, but still fights his way forward up to about the 46-yard line.
Posted tacklers on that.
Yeah, the first guy into the hole there on that particular play was Sean Jackson, number 25, in the fullback spot.
That's a pickup of 3.
And he got a helmet on one of the linebackers, which opened things up for Hines. Little 3-yard gain. North Quincy just sticking with their running game. That's their strength, and they want to take it right to Plymouth. And in addition, this keeps the Plymouth South, the potent Plymouth South offense off the field, John. So things are going exactly as Coach Craig would hope here early on.
Second down and about 7 now for North Quincy. Coming up on 4:45 left to go in the first quarter. Hines, great stutter step in the background there to get away from a tackler, and it'll be right at the first down marker. He might be just shy.
PJ Murphy.
Yeah, I think it might be this. They're going to spot it just short of the 40, where his knee went down first. And so the ball's going to be at the 42. We've got a player down for Plymouth South. I'm not sure what happened to him. And the other little issue is I don't see him on our roster. I believe it was number 52 from what I can see. I don't know if our cameraman can give us another shot of the player down, but I don't see him on the game day roster. There we go. Looks like they're checking his ankle. Good work there by our cameraman.
Might be 58.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought it was a 2 when I looked, but we'll see. We'll see when he gets up. Hopefully it's the type of thing where it is 58. All right. And they're going to have to take him off the field. This is Carter Reynolds. He's a junior. And let's see. Just trying to get an idea by how he's putting weight. I'm not sure. This could be a knee.
For the Panthers, Carter Reynolds.
That's unfortunate. Carter Reynolds being helped off the field by a couple of his teammates here, injured on that play. So we'll keep an eye on the far side of the field and see how he's doing. I know we have training staff and there's medical personnel here, so hopefully he'll get whatever help he needs early on. So here come the Red Raiders in their first big third down play, John.
All right, so it is 3rd and about 3 for North Quincy. They send Lee in motion. Hines over to the right side, and he fights his way forward. He should have enough for the first down. We'll see where they mark him down, and it is. It'll be a first down, a ball at the 37.
I'll tell you, you see Hines being escorted by Sean Jackson. Jackson, number 25, and Liam Hines. Hines is just following 2-5 into the gaps, and that time that was pure strength. That was some terrific blocking over on the left side by the Red Raiders. And this offensive line is looking very sturdy early on, John.
All right, 1st and 10 for North Quincy. This time Hines over to the left side, trying to get the corner. Nice pursuit there by Plymouth South. Hines just throws one man off with his forearm, and he goes out of bounds at about the 32.
Yeah, you see the power of Hines here. Plymouth's got to do a better job at setting the edges here, Plymouth South. We mentioned early on, one of the big names on the Plymouth South defense is the senior defensive end, Jack Condon, number 84. Interestingly, it looks like the Red Raiders are going to run right at him, which is sometimes the most effective way to neutralize a talented athlete like Condon. He doesn't have as much opportunity to run around and size up what's going on. They're just throwing their tackle and a tight end right at Condon and running the ball that way. And thus far it's been successful.
All right, Hines has to try to kick it outside, crosses the 30-yard line, and will finally get pushed out of bounds at about the 25, make it the 26 where he's pushed out.
By number 7, Tyler Doyle.
Moving the sticks again. This has been a very steady drive by the Red Raiders, as I said. Coach Craig has got to be delighted because while this is all going on the field, you've got Plymouth South offense on the sidelines. No Cassius Johnson, no Hunter Dean. And that's the best way for the Red Raider defense to have success. So here they come with a 1st and 10, John.
Hines takes it right up the middle, He's fighting behind his offensive line
William
there,
Hines
still
on the
pushing
carry.
forward. And looks like they're going to mark him down at about the 23-yard line.
Taken down by number 67. That's Anthony Smith for the
I'll
Panthers.
tell you, there's nothing subtle about this at all. Just
The pickup of
Red
three,
Raiders
second and 7.
smash mouth football. They are just taking it, and it's all inside the tackle running. A couple of times, Hines is headed to the edge, but this has been primarily inside the tackle running here. They're just taking it right at the Plymouth South defense and challenging them successfully so far.
Second down and 7 now for North Quincy. Hines over to the left side, has to cut back up, and gets
William
across the
Hines
20.
Across the 20.
And they're going to say he's down at the 20-yard line where his
Taken
knee went
by
down.
number 7. That's Tyler
Yeah,
Doyle.
that time Plymouth South doing a better job
Third
of
and
getting
3
out
for
and
the
denying the edge. Hines was not able to get outside. He had to cut it back upfield. And when he did, Plymouth South linebackers reacted. Nice job by Plymouth. So we're at the 20-yard line here for the Red Raiders, John, and Plymouth South defense making some adjustments. We're going to see if they're going to give us a bend but not break performance here on this first possession by the Red Raiders. So here we go with yet another big third down play.
Third and about 4 for the Raiders. Ball at the 20-yard line. Hines over to the right side, cuts it back up, and he'll get up to
William
about the
Hines.
13, maybe the 14-yard line before he's brought down. But
Picked up by
nonetheless, it's
number
another first
2,
down for North
Cassius
Quincy.
Johnson.
Well, that play, that time they ran away from Condon.
And the result of that play
I saw
is a
Condon
Red
getting
Raider first
outside
down.
and turning his body a little bit perpendicular, meaning he was conscious of defending the edge against Hines. And that's what he did. And the Red Raiders ran the other way, to the right side.
And Hines this time can't go anywhere. Nice job by Plymouth South trying to get the number of who came up to stop that play. It was number 7, Tyler Doyle. Yep.
Yeah, Tyler Doyle, number 7, coming up from, he's the counterpart to Condon. He's
They'll call it
the
no gain,
defensive end on
2nd and
the other
10.
side of the field. He shed his block. You see big number 77 for the Red Raiders. Reen Bego. Bego is a big guy, and there's a little bit of a mismatch on that side because number 7's definitely got a quickness edge, Tyler Doyle. And that time he just got around Bego, and they've got Colm Geary over there now as well, so we'll see if that helps. But nice job by Plymouth South on that play.
Timeout. Panthers.
And Plymouth South's going to call a timeout, Jim. Looked like they were having trouble getting the right personnel on the field, so they do call a timeout with 44 seconds left to go in the quarter.
Yeah, an excellent timeout, actually. Teams don't always use the first half timeouts enough, at least in my very amateur opinion. But one of the things I've noticed, and this is what you get in a grinding running game as well, is I've noticed a lot of hands on hips on the part of the Plymouth South guys. The players are out there. This is a prolonged drive, and they get worn out a little bit. And the other little issue is Plymouth South had to travel for this game. Their buses are out behind the visiting side of the field. And, you know, taking a school bus ride up from Plymouth is not one of the better things to do to get your legs ready for a football game. So they started out with a long bus ride. They got their warm-up in, and now they're facing a grinding running attack. So sure, Plymouth South will adjust as the game goes on, but North was hoping to do precisely what's going on here right now with their first drive, John, which is strike early while the Plymouth kids are still getting their legs under them, and the pregame jitters are still starting to dissipate. So we'll see what happens here.
All right, second and 10 after the stop. Hines over to the right side, crosses the 10-yard line, still on his feet up to about the 8-yard line. Great run there by Liam Hines, dodging traffic and getting
Hines
across the
again
10.
on the carry. Taken down by number 4, Matthew Mahoney.
Yeah, as soon as Hines gets past that,
Ball is
once he
spotted
finds
on
his gap,
the 8-yard
gets
line.
past the line, he is so capable
Third and
of
4. for the
either
Raiders.
breaking something or at least picking up the yards as he did there, because he's got the speed and the upper body strength, and that time it was a combination of the two. So looks like the Red Raiders are going to let the clock run out, John, and they're going to head down the other end of the field for this
And that's the
hopefully
end of the first quarter. There's no score.
successful first drive. First quarter is going to end 0-0, but that is not reflective of all the action that has been out there. Plymouth South occurred, I should say. Plymouth South had a nice first drive that stalled out once they get into North Quincy territory, and they punted the ball away. North starting from inside its 20, John, and still on the march.
All right, so Jim, as you said, end of first quarter play here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and we are scoreless. I want to remind all of our viewers you can log on to our website at qatv.org for program schedules, membership information, and much, much more. So again, qatv.org, including video on demand of all your favorite shows on QATV, including high school sports. So again, we encourage you to log on to our website, qatv.org, for all that information.
Yeah, one of the folks who talked to me this week mentioned that he missed Clock Cam. That's been a big loss to our COVID coverage. We're doing what we can. We have to do a better job on recounting the time here. That first quarter just flew by, John. It was basically about 20 minutes of live time, which when you're running a 12-minute quarter, that means that the clock was running most of the time. So a well-played, penalty-free, no turnover first quarter. Here come the Raiders.
All right, Hines over to the right side, gets up to about the 5-yard line where he is brought down. He's going to be just shy of the first down.
Yeah, Hines was hit right in the backfield as soon as he got
He'll
the
place that
ball.
ball squarely on the 5-yard line.
And yet
Fourth and less than a yard.
was able to push just short of the first down marker. You see at the top of the screen there, top right, you can see the yard marker, and you see the down stick, and they are less than a yard apart. So the ball is fourth down and less than a yard here, just outside the 5. It's going to be strength against strength here, John.
All right, so as you said, they can get a first down if they get to the 4-yard line. I formation for the Raiders.
North's been running right-handed on this drive, and they move Condon over to that side.
All right, Cooper Hanson's not keeping himself. Great push there by the offensive line, and Hanson's going to get all the way up to the 2-yard line. We'll bring up first and goal for the Raiders.
You can see Jack Condon there. You see number 84. They've moved him to the other side, the left defensive end position. He had been over on the right side for a while when the Red Raiders were running in that direction. And there's a little cat and mouse going on now between Plymouth South and North Quincy, where Condon is trying to anticipate which side they'll be sending Liam Hines. So that time, North artfully dodged the question with a quarterback sneak right up the middle, and Hanson picked up the first down.
All right, first and goal for the Raiders at the 2. Hines over to the left sideline, trying to fight his way forward. Touchdown, North Quincy. Lean Hines, great second effort there after getting hit, and he punches it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm a little concerned. You see Hines on the left of the screen, and Liam got up kind of. He's shaking his shoulder a little bit. I can tell he's definitely dinged up, but he took a hit on the shoulder. His jersey got a little bit. Yeah, he's looking to get someone in for him, and I think he's telling the coach now that he was uncomfortable about being the holder
Number 28,
there.
Thomas Murray will attempt a one-point
So Connor
conversion.
Plant,
Number 2,
senior
Connor Plant
backup
to hold.
quarterback, is going to take over as holder here for this particular point after.
Yeah, it looked like as Hines came off, he was showing his right hand as if he was kind of got a stinger on it, lost some feeling there, so hopefully he's okay. In the meantime, the extra point attempt by Thomas Murray is good. So with 10-12 left to go here in the second quarter, North Quincy jumps on top with a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, terrific first drive for the Red Raiders. There's 10-12 left, so the Red Raiders have burned off 2 minutes in this quarter. I'm not sure. Do you happen to have the time when North Quincy took over the ball in the first quarter, John?
Let's see.
The 8-minute mark or in the
7-minute mark, so they held the ball for almost 9 minutes on the drive.
Terrific. That is the best way to respond to the Plymouth South offense, which is a powerful group in itself. So, impressive opening drive. Good for the Red Raiders to establish themselves early, which they did.
Number 28,
And,
Thomas Murray will kick off.
Not only did they establish
Each
themselves,
receiver
but that was
number
just
4, Matthew Mahoney, and number 2,
pure
Cassius
smash mouth
Johnson.
football. Running inside the tackles, mixing things up very well. They never went to the air on that drive at all. And by the way, there is an air game that this team possesses. So Plymouth South, we'll see what they have as far as an answer, John.
All right, Murray will get ready to line it up and kick it away for North Quincy.
Great kick.
Johnson's going to let it bounce, and it almost goes past him. He takes it at the 11-yard line over to the right side, and that delay let North Quincy get downfield and bring him down at about the 25.
Taken down by number
Geez, I got to tell you, you saw some athleticism there. As you said, Cassius Johnson let the ball bounce in front of him, but he fielded it very confidently with one hand, confidently and cleanly fielded the ball and got the ball back to the 25-yard line. So nice athleticism by that young man. And here comes the Plymouth South offense for their second visit, and they're coming right out in a passing formation, it looks like. Johnson's going to be the lone man of the backfield. Well, look at this. Look who they've got. Big number 67 lining up in the backfield, Anthony Smith, an offensive lineman.
All right, Johnson with the carry over to the right side, and he is met by a bunch of Raiders, but he's still on his feet, finding his way forward. Great run there by Johnson, and he's finally going to get pushed out of bounds and knocked out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
Cassius Johnson.
Yeah, that was terrific stuff by Cassius Johnson. That time he just kept moving his legs. And again, I wish we had some stats on him, because first thing I noticed was the lower body bulk on him. He's very powerful. And that time the legs were pumping. Red Raiders got their first taste of what Johnson's capable of, and I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments. It's a very well-coached defense, and they'll make some adjustments on the tackling, how they focus on Johnson.
First down on that run by Johnson.
Yeah, nice 10-yard gain.
Johnson this time to the left side, breaks free over to the left side, crosses the 50-yard line. Liam Hines giving pursuit up to the 30 is Johnson, now at the 20, 15, and will finally get knocked out of bounds. And we'll see where they mark him out. And they're going to mark him out at the up to the 8-yard line.
Well, that was just an explosion by Cassius Johnson. He got outside and took off down the left side of the field. Right now you see Liam Hines returning to the huddle. He can't even breathe. Well, we're running the replay on that, John?
This is the live stream, so it's a little bit of a delay.
Camera going, but Hines was just coming back to the huddle. He can't even breathe because he has not left the field yet. And you just saw an explosive run by Johnson. So Plymouth South, veteran squad. These are mirror teams, really, led by seniors, real hard-driving teams. Plymouth South coming up with its own answer.
And Hunter Dean's going to keep it himself over to the left side at the 5-yard line, at the 3-yard line, closing in and waiting to see if he gets into the touchdown or not.
Number 12, Hunter Dean.
Oh, looks like he's right down. I think they're going to mark him just short of the goal line.
At the 1.
And yeah, they're going to say he's down, waiting from this inside the 1-yard line.
If there is something that would be of concern from the
Second and
Plymouth
one.
perspective. They have had trouble with turnovers this season. I know Coach Frenette's worked, Frizzetti has worked hard on that, and
Dean keeps it himself, and I don't think he's going to get in, Jim, and referees say
Number
no.
12,
Looks like it's going to be no gain on the play.
so quick
Did
snap.
not get across the goal
But
line.
the Red Raider defense was ready for it. I was indicating that Coach Frizzetti has
up third and
expressed
goal from the
concern
one.
about turnovers. And that's a potential issue, especially down here when you're inside the 5. So Plymouth South going to have to protect the football. And, of course, their first choice is to keep it in the hands of Hunter Dean, who was not able to punch it in. It's a little bit of a loss on the play. Actually, I'll just call it a no gain. They are right there on the goal line. You can see that. Great camera shot.
And Plymouth South's going to call a timeout with
Timeout.
8:46 left to go in the quarter.
Nope. Panthers.
Yeah, North could use the timeout just from a conditioning perspective. I mean, some of these kids have not left the field here. And in particular, I'm looking at number 11, Liam Hines, who's got the dinged up right shoulder and clearly looks tired when he's out there. I shouldn't say tired, that's the wrong word, but he's gassed. He was the one who chased down Cassius Johnson on that explosive run, and that was a 60-yard sprint in and of itself. So I would be now on my way med-flighting to a Beth Israel facility if I had done something like that. And so we'll give Liam the benefit of the doubt if he puts his hands on his hips after that type of run. But Liam's a little gassed, and so this break would help in that regard. So Plymouth South is going to stretch the field, John. You see they're sending 2 wideouts, really wide out, trying to get a couple of the Red Raiders away from the interior.
I formation behind Dean. They're going to give it to Johnson, and Johnson finds the hole on the left side and will go into the end zone for the touchdown.
Cassius Johnson.
Yeah, I
on the
would
1
call
yard
that
run.
an easy
Touchdown,
decision.
Panthers.
Although we have great respect for Coach Frizzetti, there was no coaching brilliance on that call. You hand the ball off to the number 2 and let him do his thing, and he punched it right in the end zone.
Number
So
7, Tyler
the
Doyle will
perfect
attempt a
answer by
one-point
Plymouth
conversion.
South to the
Number
Red
11,
Raider
Henry
opening
White to
drive, and it will be up to North Quincy now to respond.
Tyler Doyle will do the extra point duties for Plymouth South, and it is good.
Good.
So 8:42 left to go here in the quarter, and we are tied at 7.
In the half. We are tied
Tyler
at
Doyle
7.
certainly eliminates any of the excitement on a point after. He just blasted that through. He's got to be a former soccer player, because that little baby left the kicking tee and was through the goalposts in an instant. So it's 7-7, John. Both teams playing penalty-free, very disciplined football here to start out. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Red Raiders respond. That was another long drive. What do we have, 8:42 left, John?
Correct.
8:42 left in the second quarter.
Off for the
And
Panthers, deep to receive for the Raiders. Number 33, Nick Pereira. Number 22, Hunter
North Quincy's
McIsaac.
got 2 guys back for the kick.
All right, nice kick there, and Pereira's going to take it at his own 10-yard line, up the middle of the field with a head of steam now. Breaks 1 tackle across the 40-yard line, still on his feet, midfield. Big block there by
big
North
block.
Quincy. Cole Geary with a huge block, and that was Hunter McIsaac actually on the return, all the way up to about the 30-yard line, make it the 32.
Well, just an explosive kick return by Hunter McIsaac. Great stuff, and you got to be happy for McIsaac, only a junior. He's been back there blocking,
yard.
and he's been playing. He's a defensive back, and he got his own little chance to shine, and boy did he take it. So the Cassius Johnson explosion is met by the Hunter McIsaac explosion here, and these 2 teams just keep wailing away on each other with some great football here, great high school football, the Keenan Division Championship.
The head coach for Plymouth South is out in the field talking to the referee. And
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, we said that it was an excellent block, but he was bothered by the fact that appeared to be a crackback block. And, you know, he's got a player who really got popped. And, I mean, it was a good block, and you don't want to see anyone get hurt. I don't think the boy was hurt, but he was definitely blasted.
And 1st and 10 for North Quincy. Hines stutter steps in the backfield, finds a gap, and goes through it. Gets across the 30 to about the 29.
Number 11, Liam Hines.
So
Number
North
3,
Quincy
Jackson
sticking
Elliott
with
on
the
tackle for
game plan
Panthers.
and
That's
the
a pickup
playbook.
of 3, 2nd and
It's
7.
Hines to the left, Hines to the right. And this time we see, I'm also watching where Jack Condon goes. And number 84 Condon, he started on the right side. Now he's switched over to the left side. See if the Red Raiders see that.
Gain of 3 on that last play by Hines. Hines up the middle now and trying to fight his way forward.
Liam Hines.
And maybe a gain of 1 on the play. We'll see where they
Taken
spot
down
his
by
forward
number
progress.
4, that's Matthew Mahoney.
Yeah, Hines cut it back inside because Condon was over there. Condon basically shut down both the right
Forward
tackle
progress to the
gap
27.
and
That'll bring
he
up
held
3rd
the
and
edge
5
as
for the
well.
Raiders.
So Hines had no options here. He couldn't get outside. He had to cut it back up inside. And Plymouth South, with some nice tackling, that brought Hines down after a short gain. It's going to be a 3rd down and 5 for the Red Raiders. They converted several 3rd downs on that last drive, John. See if they can here.
3rd and about 5. Pitch over to the left side for Hines. Hines gets across the 25, dives his way forward to the 23, and he's going to be just shy of the first down, it looks like.
Taken down by
Yeah, I'd
number
say
7,
we're in,
that's Tyler Doyle for the
4 down
Panthers.
territory here. I'm expecting the Red Raiders to go for it. That time, Zach Proctor, a junior linebacker for Plymouth South, made the tackle. He wrapped up Hines, not in the legs or not in the upper body, but right around the waist. The only,
23-yard line. That's going to be
the only
4th
point
and
where there
1
aren't
for the Raiders.
bulging muscles on Liam Hines. So nice tackle there by Proctor. And Hines was just short of the first down. So it's going to be 4th and 1. We won't rule out Cooper Hansen on the sneak here. So far the focus has been on the edges. And let's see what Hansen thinks.
All right, so as you said, Jim, 4th and less than 1 really for North Quincy. Gonna give it to Hines over to the right side. He has the first down, and well, actually, we'll see what happens. It looked like initially he had the first down, but I'm not too sure. The initial spot from the referee doesn't look favorable, but we'll see where they put the ball. And no, they're gonna give him.
It is good enough for a Raider first down.
That might have been a friendly spot there, Jim. Tough to tell up here, but
Well, the fact that the Plymouth South coaching staff is out on the field, all 5 of them, or at least 5 of them. I'm sure there's more coaches, but I think they are concerned about a friendly spot. Referee is talking to the Plymouth South defensive captain and some of the players. There might have been some yapping at the officials, and he's just trying to tell them so. But that was just all bang-bang stuff and resulted in a North Quincy first down. Big first down.
And they spot the ball at the 21-yard line, so 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Hansen looking to pass, looking downfield for a man in the end zone, and it is caught, but did he get his feet in bounds? Touchdown, North Quincy! Number 21 with a huge play, Nate Caldwell. What a catch in the back of the end zone. Looked like he just tiptoed 1 foot in to get the score.
Yeah, watch this replay. Nate Caldwell, a sophomore. It was a great play. You see all the Plymouth South guys attacking the line. Caldwell got behind the coverage, got his foot down, and the Red Raiders with another great call. The play calling so far for North Quincy has just been absolutely flawless, John. The Raiders have really called a great first half, and that pass play It was a nice recovery by defensive back Matt Mahoney, a senior. He was there in the coverage. There's a point after that is good.
Kick is good.
That's going to be important in
Teams
this
head
game, John,
upfield.
that
North Quincy
for both
Raiders
teams. But
14,
we'll
Plymouth
say for the
South
Red Raiders,
Panthers 7.
executing the points after is going to be critical in this game because we saw that Plymouth South has a kicker, Tyler Doyle, and North Quincy has one as well. And we'll see if it's a hiccup in the kicking game that determines the outcome. But Red Raiders with the perfect answer to that Plymouth South explosive drive. They come back down the field, put 7 up on the board. Offense is 2 for 2, and they're playing very effectively, John.
And that drive was all set up by the big kick return by Hunter McIsaac as well. So with 5:41 left to go here in the second quarter, North Quincy takes a 7-point lead, 14-7 over the Panthers of Plymouth South.
You know, it's interesting. I see a gentleman who's been up at our booth before, very inspirational guy, Rich Rat Kennedy. He is down on the sidelines. I wonder if we can, if I can get the camera to just pan back a little bit. Rich Kennedy is a white-haired guy today, but Rich has been battling ALS for
Number 28,
several
Thomas
years
Murray,
now,
set to kick off
and
for
he's
the
down on the
Raiders.
sideline walking
To
up and down the
receive for the
field. He's a
Panthers,
very
number 2,
inspirational
Cassius
story.
Johnson, and number 4,
He
Matthew
and his
Mahoney.
family in regard to ALS, and it's really something to see him down on the sidelines walking around with just a cane, knowing what he has been through. So maybe we can get a chance to talk to him at halftime, and we'll talk a little more about Rich as well coming up for today's game.
All right, Murray will kick it deep for the Raiders all the way back to the 8-yard line.
Number
Going to be
4,
fielded by Matthew Mahoney over to the right side now, excuse me, to the left side. Cuts back up the middle of the field, and he is going to be stopped at about the
Mahoney in
34-yard
traffic
line by a nice return there by
to the
Mahoney.
33-yard line.
Well, nice
4,
job
Matt
by
Mahoney.
both teams. The special
Taken
teams
down
had
by
good
a host of
coverage,
Raiders.
but a nice run back by Matt Mahoney. And you got to tip
Last
your hat
on
to
the
number
pile,
4, Matt
number
Mahoney
2,
for
Connor
Plymouth South.
Plant.
He's a senior. He was a defensive back on the play where the Red Raiders scored the
Panthers at their
touchdown
own 32-yard line.
on the terrific reception by Nate Caldwell. Mahoney had terrific coverage on that play, but nonetheless, when the guy you're covering catches a
And the
touchdown
referee will
pass, you
spot the
feel like
ball
you got
officially
beat.
at the 34.
So what does he do on the very next play? He takes the
First and
kickoff
10.
and runs it back to the 34-yard line, giving his team great field position. So you have to appreciate and commend the resilience of an athlete like that, a young athlete like that, Matt Mahoney. So we tip our hat.
Cassius Johnson, number 2, will get the ball over to the left sideline. Has another gap here as well. Liam Himes giving chase, and Himes is going to be able to
Number
push
2,
Johnson out of bounds
Cassius
at the
Johnson,
34-yard line.
Knocked out of bounds
Well,
by
I
number
will just
11, Liam
point out to
Hines.
Coach Frizzetti
Result of that play
that
will be
Plymouth
the
South
Panthers'
just
first
had their
down.
own crackback block. They just had
gonna spot the
I
ball
missed
at
who
the
in particular. I guess we'll
34-yard
see it
line.
here on the replay. But watch that block
North
by the
Quincy.
receiver who came in and just blasted. Tyler Doyle just blasted North Quincy defensive back Tyler Lee. So
Dean keeps us all. Great tackle there by North Quincy. So you get that number to who came up. Looks like it was number 34 for the Raiders who came up and
Number
made that
12,
play.
number
Michael
15,
Gorman.
Taken down by number 34, Michael Gorman.
yeah, I'll tell you,
Loss
he's
on the play.
Gorman is one of the
Second and
fearsome
11 for the
linebackers for the Red Raiders. They got Craig
We're just under
Gorman
5 minutes left to play in
and
the half.
Murray out there, and 3 terrific linebackers. Nice job by Gorman. Loss on the play of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 11 for Plymouth South.
And
I want to go back to that play I was commenting on, John, but
Timeout,
you know,
Panthers.
Doyle really had a terrific block because Tyler Lee was closing on that. One of the things the Red Raiders are going to work on, I'm sure at halftime, and correct, is Tyler Lee took what they would call an inside route. He was trying to get inside and go directly at the ball carrier. And that allowed Cassius Johnson to get outside and up the sideline. But Hetty tried to get outside. Doyle was there, and it was Doyle's responsibility to open up the outside, and he did. He made a terrific block. And this is just a game, John, with senior football players who have been well coached and worked hard to get prepared for this game, really executing on the field. It's been an impressive first half so far.
That was Plymouth South's last timeout, so they're out of timeouts for the remainder of this half. Pitch to the left side to Johnson. To the left side, has the first down, cuts up to the middle of the field, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. A great cutback by Johnson at about the 20-yard line. Was showing he's going to go towards the sideline, cuts up to the middle, and goes in for the 6 points.
Man, and this kid's only a freshman. That is really awesome. Terrific cutback. He's got same qualities we compliment in Liam Hines. Speed, size,
Number 7,
really
Tyler
ferocious.
Doyle. Number 11, Henry
there's
White to hold.
Any criticism
Timeout Raiders.
to be had for the Plymouth South offense in the first half is that they've been scoring too quickly, John. So the Red Raiders, who are 2 for 2 so far, are going to get right back out on the field. But I wonder if, where this young man's a freshman, we couldn't get the North Quincy Booster Club to look into buying the Johnson family a nice house somewhere here in North Quincy and see if he couldn't spend the remainder of his high school career up in our fair city. It's really, and this is what as I mentioned early on, we saw Hunter Dean a couple of years back, and I said the thought that he's going to be around the league for a few years is very daunting, while this Cassius Johnson is going to be quite something for his high school career. You can see it now.
All right, extra point attempt by Tyler Doyle is up. Tyler Doyle, is up, and it is good. So with 4:31 left to go here in the second quarter, we are tied at 14.
Well, there's some terrific back and forth going on out on this field, John. I'll tell you, both teams stepping up and answering the call, and that time Plymouth South, on the strength of the young freshman Cassius Johnson, getting right downfield, matching the Red Raiders score for score. This seems like it's possibly going to be the type of game that whoever has the ball last is going to be the champion of the Keenan division this year. We'll see.
Fisher,
I beg your pardon. Yeah. I don't like when you name divisions,
Number 7,
like
Tyler
hockey.
Doyle set to kick
I
off.
don't know who's where in hockey anymore for that same reason.
Nick Pereira at the 11.
Pereira on the 11-yard line has a seam over the right
Wow.
sideline.
Pereira.
Here he
And
goes.
nice job across the midfield. That's Pereira. Great move there by Pereira to spring himself free across the 30-yard line. One man to beat, and can't outrun him, but gets all the way down to the 15-yard line. Does Nick Pereira. Oh, and they're going to say there's a flag on the play, though.
There is a flag on the play.
The way the Plymouth South kids are reacting, it seems to me that might be against the Raiders. We'll see. I noted with some surprise that Tyler Doyle just kind of waved at Pereira as he ran by.
Block in the back against North Quincy. That's coming back.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's a block in the back. But I'll tell you what, you still tip your hat on the run by Pereira. That was just a remarkable kick return. He did a nice job of
He'll place the ball at the 32-yard
Nice job
line
of a stutter
North
step.
Quincy. 1st and 10 Raiders.
just checking where the ball's going to be here. Nice job of a stutter step when he caught the kick and just took off downfield.
All right, so they're going to say the penalty occurred at the 32-yard line, and they'll move it back to the 22.
Wasn't it? On the return? Who was on the return there?
I believe it was number 33, Nick Pereira.
Okay, beg your pardon. Yeah.
Ball is spotted at the 22-yard line. 1st and 10 Raiders.
So tough break there. What would have been a gain all the way down to the 25 Goes all the way back to the North Quincy 22. Hines over to the left side, trying to get the edge. Nice block there by number 79 for North Quincy. That's Harry Guadiano, and was able to spring Hines up to about the 30-yard line.
Condon for the Panthers.
Yeah, as you said, Guadiano got out there, did a terrific job. And Liam Hines ran up behind him. Liam does a great job, and this is sometimes an issue when you've got speed like Hines has. You'll outrun your blockers. Hines lets his blockers set things up in front of him, and does a good job of working off his blockers. So he did so there. 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3 for the Red Raiders.
And we're going to have a false start, or excuse me, illegal motion on North Quincy, they're going to call it.
Penalty.
Well, after playing flawless football in the first half, a couple little hiccups here by the Red Raiders.
That's a 5-yard penalty.
The block in the back you can kind of understand. I had mentioned the way Pereira
for the Raiders.
ran that ball back. There was a little delay there. And a lot of Plymouth South bodies downfield on top of the return man. And so they had, the second line of the Red Raiders was turning, and it was almost to be expected there might be a block on the back. But here, a fatigue penalty, we'll call it.
Hines over to the right side. He'll get across to 25, up to about the 26 or 27-yard line. Zachary Proctor come up to make the tackle for the Panthers.
Pickup.
All right, so that penalty really hurt the Red Raiders. They're in a 3rd and long again.
28.
They've done a terrific job in this first half of converting 3rd downs. But this time, they're on their side of the field, 28-yard line. There's enough time left for Plymouth South if they get the ball back, so it'd be nice to see the Red Raiders convert here. Big 3rd down play.
Delayed handoff to Hines, and Hines still on his feet, gets across the 30-yard line, maybe to the 31, but they're going to be a yard shy of the 1st down.
Now let's see what they do. The coaching staff looking at the spot, and they're going to let the clock run down as well.
On the carry.
So good decision by North Quincy. What we may be looking at is a timeout, and then maybe a hard snap, a long count hard snap type situation by the quarterback Hansen. See if they can't get Plymouth South, who has no penalties in this first half, to jump. So North Quincy has let the clock run down. It's down under 150 here to go. And let's see what they do here.
So this ball spotted just shy of the 31. They need to get to the 32 for the 1st down.
They're lining up. So if they're going to go for it.
And they're going to go for it. Hansen's going to keep it, trying to get the extra push there. And looks like with a second effort they might have. We'll see where they spot forward progress. Looks like getting up to the 33-yard line, and that will be enough for the 1st down.
Is enough for a Raider 1st down. Timeout, North Quincy.
Red Raiders follow that up with a timeout, so 1:19 to go. They bled the clock down under 120, and then what a very impressive push that was just a rugby scrum, and the Red Raiders won it. They pick up the 1st down, they run the clock down, there's 1:20 left, so that's huge for the Red Raiders. What this says is that at the least, assuming no turnovers, North Quincy is looking at running out the clock here. Coach Craig asking some questions, wants to clarify something with the officials. But it looks like at the least, North Quincy will have the ability to run the clock out. They're going to get the first kick to start the second half, John. So that was a big 1st down by the Red Raiders.
All right, ball is again at the North Quincy 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. 1:19 left to go in the half. 4 receivers set now for the Raiders. Quarterback Cooper Hansen, junior for the Raiders, in the shotgun. Looking looking to pass, looking over to the left side, and incomplete. Was looking for number 22,
Pass
Hunter
incomplete.
McIsaac.
Intended for number 22.
Yeah, the
Hunter
pass was a
McIsaac.
little short there. In fairness to Dean,
Second
he
and
has
10.
not thrown, I beg your pardon, Hanson. Dean's the other guy. Hanson has not been throwing the ball today. So that was a little square out where McIsaac just turned right at the down marker, the first down marker, and ball went 8 yards instead of 10. So the other thing that did was stopped the clock. We'll see what the Red Raiders are thinking in regard to clock usage here.
1:14 left to go in the half now. Second down for North. And Hanson under pressure gets a break away from it over to the middle now. And it was a very late slide. And he gets hit. And officials are looking, North Quincy's looking for a penalty.
Now it's the North Quincy officials who are. The referee is talking to the captains, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't so much the hit, it was that he went at his head.
First down.
I think that the coaches are upset over. I don't know if we got a replay here or we're a little limited today. We don't have our producer with us. So John Caleri's been doubling as play-by-play man and the replay guy. Ryan Craig is, here's the replay. Now watch the hit at the end. I mean, that number 5 came in and speared and hit at the head of North Quincy quarterback Cooper Hanson. Ryan Craig calls a timeout and goes right to the official to complain about the failure to make a call on that play.
Do the replay on that hit! Do the replay on that hit!
Got some irate parents who want to have the replay shown on the scoreboard. And Ryan Craig has given the entire officiating crew an earful over the fact that there should have been a penalty on that play. And it's hard to argue when two things occurred there. A, the tackler led with his helmet, and B, he hit the head of the player who was in a slide. So we'll see what happens here. It's not going to reverse what's already occurred, but see if Red Raiders don't get the next call.
All right, the clock is showing 48 seconds left to go here in the half.
Get together! Please reset the clock to 58 seconds, 5-8.
Official was checking with the timer on the field to make certain that the time shown on the clock coincides with the time on the field there. Now they're going to reset the play. Let's see what happens. We'll see how the two teams react here. Red Raiders side all fired up. Plymouth South has already been aggrieved early on with lack of flags and calls, so see what happens here.
Hanson looking to pass over to the right side and was looking for Colm Gary, but was running while he was trying to pass and couldn't connect.
Well, there's that, but also it is a cold day here today. We didn't really talk about the weather. Today it's 40, cloudy, and breezy. The flags have been consistently blowing from the north to the south. And when something like a day like today occurs, and you're a quarterback, as Cooper Hanson is, he's predominantly running a running game, it makes it a little difficult to throw the ball. And his arm's tight, his body's tight, cold and tight, and he's short hopped a couple of passes.
Second down and 10. And ball is incomplete. Number 5, P.J. Murphy came up and knocked it away for the Panthers.
Defended by number 5, P.J. Murphy.
Yeah, so it's 3rd and 10 here with 43 seconds to go. North Quincy was trying to make something happen Wonder if they may not just go back to the running game and get to the locker room tied here. That play was dangerously close to. It was a little quick square out and the coverage was there, so you don't want to have any problems as far as interceptions and put the ball back in the hands of the explosive Plymouth South offense. So let's see. Red Raiders do come out in a running formation. As you said earlier, John, Plymouth South is out of timeout, so looks like they might try to get the clock to run down.
All right, Hunter McIsaac on the run for North Quincy. And with forward progress, he's going to get up to the 47-yard line, only a gain of 1.
No gain on the play.
All right, so with that, we're down to 30 seconds here. Coach Craig looking at the clock. They can take a penalty here at this point in the field, and they don't really care about that. So it looks like we're going to let the clock run down. That's what Coach Craig has indicated. So, John, I'll tell you, a flawlessly game planned and executed first half from the Red Raider perspective.
The score is tied at 14.
Everything they wanted to see happen did happen. And on the other side of the ball, Plymouth South, they came up here highly touted, and one might think, if you were talking to folks from Scituate or other venues south of Quincy, that Plymouth South might have been the favorite here, as they're the returning league champs, so they're looking to repeat. And North Quincy did a terrific job in that first half.
All right, so first half of play was an exciting one here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and we are tied at 14. North Quincy 14, Plymouth South 14. Jim and I will take a timeout, and in about 10 minutes we'll be back with second half coverage. We hope you stay with us.
Hey, set to kick off for the Panthers. Number 7, Tyler Doyle. Deep to receive for the Raiders. Number 22, Hunter McIsaac, and number 33, Nick Pereira.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're at the half. We are tied at 14. Pereira's going to take the ball for North Quincy on the opening kick, and Nick Pereira will bring up to about the 29-yard line.
Yeah, Pereira is only a sophomore. He's very aggressive, terrific runner, and it's nice to see the talents here having an opportunity to shine in this big game. So no hesitation on the part of Pereira. You can tell that he's fired up, as are his teammates, and he jumped in and grabbed his opportunity and gives the Red Raiders good field position just short of the 30-yard line as we start this third quarter.
All right, I formation behind quarterback Cooper Hansen. Liam Hines with the ball. Kicks it outside over to the right, and Cassius Johnson, number 2 for the Panthers, comes up and makes the tackle, and it's going to be a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, nice solid tackle by Johnson. Continue to marvel at the fact he is only a freshman. Did a great job there of chasing down his counterpart, Liam Hines. This has somewhat been a battle between those two, a mano between those two. And John, I know you've been keeping some stats. It'd be interesting to hear first half stats when we get a break, but Johnson's numbers are going to be eye-popping.
All right, second down for the Raiders. Hines with the pitch over to the left side, trying to find some space, and might get a gain of 1 on the play. Let's see where they spot it.
Number 11, Liam.
Now, it's interesting. That time I noticed Johnson running over to the other side of the field. He's being directed by the coaching staff on where to go here. And that time he was over on the left side when Brendan ran to that side in his first attempt. They moved him over to the other side, and Brendan went that way on the second attempt. So we've got 3rd and long here for the Red Raiders coming out of the halftime break. Big play for both teams here. Plymouth South would love to stop, and the Red Raiders would love to have another long drive here.
3rd down for North Quincy. Liam Hines over to the right side this time, and he's going to reverse his field back over to the left. Player loses his helmet, And flags thrown on the play. And Hines gets pushed out of bounds at about the 38-yard line, but he's getting multiple flags on the play.
Yeah, I think there's going to be an issue with Red Raider blocking. Whatever the call is, can well end up being declined unless Coach Frizzetti wants to play a little field position game, but his defense really stepped up. They're going to take the penalty here. He's showing great confidence in his defense here, so we're going to replay the third down. Red Raiders are going to
26-yard line.
Be walked back to their 26-yard line, where it's going to be a third and about 13, John. And Plymouth South trying to play a little field position here. Frizzetti, great confidence in his defense. I think there's thought on the far sideline here that Plymouth South may have figured out this North Quincy offense, and they're putting this particular play in the hands of their defense here.
All right, 3rd and long for North Quincy, 3rd and 13.
You get 4 receivers here, John.
Thomas Murray in the backfield springs Hanson free and incomplete. Was looking for number 21, Nate Caldwell, and number 4, Matthew Mahoney, just threw his hands in front of Caldwell's face, and ball went off of Caldwell and couldn't bring it in. I think that split-second blindness caused him to lose sight of the ball.
Yeah, it was a well-run route by Caldwell. He got open. Beautifully delivered ball by Cooper Hanson, but as you said, John, there was decent coverage that time on the play. Matt Mahoney, and the waving Matt Mahoney arm and body coming across field of vision probably caused the issue on that play. Whoa. They get in and covered that punt well.
And Cassius Johnson's going to field it at his own 49-yard line, and he'll bring it up to the 41.
Number 2, Cassius Johnson.
Well,
to the 41.
Nice tackle on that special teams play by Dylan Clifford, a sophomore, number 56. He got downfield and made the tackle after a short run by Cassius Johnson, relatively short, but the field position chess game worked well on this particular exchange, as Plymouth South is going to start at the North Quincy High 40, and the North defense really has to step up here, coming out of the locker room into the second half.
All right, quarterback Hunter Dean for the Panthers is going to keep it himself, trying to find some space over the left sideline.
Number 12, Hunter Dean.
And he's finally met there by a host of Raiders, but he'll get up to about the 37 on that run.
Yeah, the Raiders are typically
number 44, that's Matt for the Raiders.
very strong in the tackling department. That time,
call it 3 yards.
not so much. And although he had a lot of pressure in the backfield, Hunter Dean was able to pick up about 3 on the play. We had read coming into the game that Dean was he was a little banged up after high school basketball season, and he's showing some effects here as we start the second half of earlier injuries.
Johnson over the right side, and still on his feet, carrying a Raider forward, and Johnson with a great effort there, and goes all the way up to about the 21-yard line.
Johnson taken down by number 44, Matt.
Yeah, they got to do a better job here tackling. This guy is not gonna
21-yard line. That play is
he's not going to get down easily, and they have to get down around the legs a little better. That time, a couple of people jumped at him. If you watch the replay, you're going to see some bodies come into the huddle and hit him high, but this kid's not going to get down as a result of contact. Cassius, only a freshman, but it's going to take more to tackle him. Now here we go. Great gang tackling there by the Red Raiders. This is more akin to what we've seen over the course of the year.
Matt Craig on the tackle.
Hunter Dean kept it himself that time, and going to be a loss of 1 on the play. Looked like number 44 for the Raiders. Matt Craig led the way for North Quincy on that play.
Yeah, Craig, as we said, the defensive captain, middle linebacker, did a terrific job. Dean's an effective runner, but he's been neutralized for the most part in this game. And that's the result of the strong linebacker play.
Quick pitch over to Johnson to the right side, has the edge, and he's going to go in for the score. Cassius Johnson in for the touchdown.
Panthers.
Yeah, that was a well-designed play, as you said. Just a little pitch. They got him outside. He's outside the defensive end. And
Panthers on the board.
let's see there. It looks like, well, they're setting up for the point after.
Number
There's the
7,
quick
Tyler
pitch.
Doyle will
They
attempt
just
the
get it
1-point
outside the
conversion.
defensive
Number
end and then
11,
let
Henry
the
White
talent
goal.
take over. So Cassius Johnson runs it in, and the point after is up and
Kick is
good by
Head upfield.
Tyler Doyle.
The score
So
is now Plymouth South Panthers
we said, John, that the Red Raiders were delighted with the fact they
21.
came up with a
North
stop
Quincy Raiders 14.
and then a touchdown to start the game, first half. And now here in the second half, Plymouth South pays North right back. They return the favor and they come out with a stop on defense and then a score. And so it's 21-14 Plymouth South, and now the Red Raider offense got to come up with some solutions here. They've stalled out their last couple of possessions, John. We'll have to see what they can do to effect some
Number 7,
change
Tyler Doyle
offensively.
set to kick off for the Panthers.
So 21-14, Plymouth South,
Number
8:58 left to go in the
22,
third
Hunter
quarter.
McIsaac, and number 33, Nick Pereira.
Tyler Doyle will kick it away for the Panthers.
Yeah, McIsaac and Pereira back. Actually continuing to kick to Pereira.
Pereira's
Which I
going
find
to take it at his
interesting.
own 13, and
Whoa.
big tackle there. Number 84 from Plymouth South comes up and makes that
Pereira
tackle.
taken
Jack
down
Condon,
by
one of the
number
captains for the
84,
Panthers.
Jack Condon for
That
the
was a big
Panthers.
boy tackle there. That was just a real solid bang. Well done. Condon is,
Ball be spotted
you know,
at the
a
28-yard
top
line.
shelf football player. We talked about
First
him
and 10
coming in.
Raiders.
Not sure he's a senior. Not sure what he's going to be doing next year, but I'm sure he's going to be playing football somewhere. And when your defensive end and one of your biggest guys on the field is also getting down on special teams and making the tackle, you know you got a special player.
First and 10 for the Raiders at their own 28-yard line. Hines on the carry over to the right side, and he's going to fight his way forward up to about the 31, maybe the 32.
Across the 30.
Well, nice poise here by the Red Raider
Out of their
coaching
pile,
staff.
Number 7, Tyler Doyle for
Their
the
offensive
Panthers.
line and their running
Five
game
at the
has brought
32-yard
them to
line. That was a
today's
pickup of 4.
festivities. And essentially what they're saying is, we're not going to change things here. We're going to go back to ground and pound. And they did, or have, I should say. Nice 4-yard gain on a first down. So it's 2nd and 6. And the Red Raiders sticking with the ground game, John. Going to see what they can do to respond to that touchdown by Plymouth South.
Eight minutes to go here in the third quarter. Hines up the middle, and Hines took a big hit, and
Hines on the
I said
carry.
ball is down after Hines. Oh, excuse me, ball came out after Hines was already tackled, and they'll spot him down to 36.
Pick up a 3 there,
Hines
so
takes it out to the
going to bring up a 3rd down
37-yard line.
and about 2
3rd and 2
for the Red Raiders. Going to be interesting here. North looking like they did in that first drive, where they were able to get this running game established. Let's see if they can't continue here. Big 3rd down for both teams.
3rd and 2. North needs to get to the 38. Hansen almost lost the snap, picks it back up, and maybe gets a gain of 1 on the play.
Cooper Hansen.
Well, that is the first execution miscue by the Red Raiders, who've been very impressed all along how the Red Raiders have played mistake-free
Timeout.
football. The line is very disciplined. They execute well. We're right at the stick, and Coach Craig is really thinking this one over.
You're going to measure.
They're going to request a measurement. Good call.
So we have measurement and also the 6-minute water break at 6:49 while they have the opportunity.
Yeah, it's interesting. From our viewpoint, there's an obstruction for us to see the clock. I don't get to see how many minutes are there. I know how many seconds, but not how many minutes. So 6:49 to go. And it's 4th and inches. Although there was a little bit of a loose chain there. Did you notice that when they measured? So, I don't know. We'll see.
So he's going to say it's about a half a yard that they need for the first down.
And this is a big call. And, you know, Coach Craig has had a terrific game plan today. The boys are clearly very well coached. This is a great coaching staff. There are a number of coaches who are former players, and in addition, former head coach Ken McPhee is on the sidelines and has been helping out this year. So, interesting call here. Big 4th down play.
Hansen comes under center. He's going to keep it himself, trying to get the push forward, and he should have enough for the first down.
Cooper Hansen.
Yeah, you can tell Hansen is told, if you see a seam, go ahead and take it, and he did there, and I think you're correct, John. I think we're moving the sticks. Here's the first down. So, very, very gutsy call by Coach Craig. Give him a lot of credit here, John. The program has turned around under his tutelage here, and they're really performing well.
So they're going to give Hansen a gain of 2 on that as they mark him up to the 39-yard line. So as you said, nice job there by Cooper Hansen to fight his way forward for the first down. And just as I say that, Hansen is on the sideline, and coming in now is Connor Plant, number 2 at quarterback. So hopefully Hansen's okay, but Plant is in at quarterback for North Quincy. He's going to give it to Thomas Murray, number 28, the fullback. Great job here by Murray, keeping his feet moving, and all the way up to about the 49-yard line. Great run there by Murray. Should be enough for a first down.
Well, that's just terrific stuff. So the Red Raiders reestablishing themselves here offensively. And that's what Craig wanted when he went for a very risky call. 4th down and short. Deep in your own territory, but Coach Craig with a gutsy call. He could sense that his team is starting to execute and needs to reestablish itself. So Red Raiders going mano a mano with Plymouth South here. They're right on the 50-yard line with a new set of downs.
And they're going to give it to Murray again. Murray trying to get back to the line of scrimmage and might have actually gotten a gain of 1 on the play. And they're going to say no gain back to the midfield.
Yeah, he was hitting the backfield, but kept his legs grinding there. So Connor Plant, the backup quarterback, the senior, does a terrific job of going in and giving Cooper Hansen a little bit of a break. And nice execution by Plant on a couple of running plays. Red Raiders picked up a first down, and here they go with a 2nd and long.
All right, Hansen back in. They're going to give it to Liam Hines. Hines over the right side, and a late hit there, and flags are thrown, and hopefully Liam Hines is okay.
That's number 11, Liam Hines.
Well, let me tell you something there.
Several flags on the play.
I think the entire officiating crew heard Coach Craig in that first half when there was a failure to throw flags on a similar play. So that time,
personal foul.
I mean, that's, you don't like to see that stuff. Everyone saw that it was number 11 and that he was vulnerable and they were taking shots at him, and that's not clean football and what has been an otherwise well-played and clean game.
Yards.
So
that'll place the ball at the
Liam
31-yard line.
gets up and is okay. We said he's been shaking out his right shoulder. This is a tough team. That's another thing. They've taken on the persona of their coach. I mentioned after the Quincy North game, John, that it would take courage to douse that guy with a Gatorade, and Ryan Craig has imbued within his team here a real smash mouth, tough attitude. Hines is right back out there.
And they're going to give it right back to him again over to the right side. And ball comes loose, and looks like South has recovered.
On the play.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Liam was looking downfield, and
Covered by Plymouth South.
there was no one in front of him at the
7,
time, and the ball
Doyle.
got punched out from behind. So a disappointing turnover for the Red Raiders. They've got to show some
what the call is
resilience
here.
here defensively. Let's see what's going on. The officials are talking. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what why there
ball.
might have been any conversation over that. But Liam is very disappointed, but he's got to shake that one off. You can see him heading into the defensive huddle here, and the defense has now got to step up, come up with a stop. It's going to be inside the 30 at about the 26-yard line. So the turnover happened deep in Plymouth territory, and let's see what Red Raiders do defensively here. Still a huddle of officials. See what that's about.
I think they're trying to find or discuss where to spot the ball. One official is standing at the 26, but the huddle is, I guess, trying to find out exactly where they should spot the ball.
Yeah, they have the yard marker, the first down markers all established. I don't know.
Well, 3:55 left to go here in the third quarter, and again, it's going to be Plymouth South ball. They're up 21-14, and we're just trying to find out after the turnover where the ball is going to be spotted for Plymouth South to start this offensive drive.
Now the officials are going to go over and talk to the Plymouth South coaching staff. Ryan Craig's wondering what's going on. He's going to get out there and find out for himself. That was an impressive drive until the turnover, John. Impressive drive by the Red Raiders, and makes you realize, we're seeing our first turnover in this game, seeing a couple of things for the first time. I mean, the player fatigue is starting to set in here as these two teams that have really gone at each other played.
Well, Plymouth South officials are now upset about what's going on. And
we're going to have to understand this one, because now it looks like they're putting the North Quincy offense back on the field.
Darren Frazzetti is the head coach for...
Can you run a replay, John? I know we've been running...
yeah, this will just be for you and I, Jim, to see up here in the booth.
Perfect. All right. So let's see. So there's the run. I don't know. It seems this side judge here to the right of the screen appears to be calling Hines down. I don't know if somehow they're saying that Liam Hines' knee was down before the fumble occurred. Well,
I mean, from the replay, Hines was standing up on both feet. I mean, and his forward progress, he was still moving forward. The defender came in and knocked it loose as he was tackling him. The defender's left arm came in and knocked the ball loose. And Plymouth South is furious over this call. And I can't say I don't blame them, Jim, because it looked like it was a fumble. But North Quincy is, well, they still haven't really... Now the official's coming over to talk to North Quincy, so I don't want to comment on anything because I don't know what they're actually going to happen here.
Well, I'll be curious. Now, what are we running here? Because right now, I don't think we're live on our screen, are we?
Yes.
Oh, the official's coming over, and we're in a little delay. The official, you see him approaching now, Coach Craig, and Lord only knows what he's telling Coach Craig, but I also see Coach Craig just standing there listening. He is not going to take a a defeat from the jaws of victory. Probably complimenting them on the great call. And what's this symbol here?
So they're going to say it was an inadvertent whistle before the fumble, if I've heard that
The
correctly.
ball was reversed. It is North Quincy football, 1st and 10.
Are they saying that Liam Hines' forward progress was stopped and an official blew a whistle?
I think that's what they're saying, yes.
You know what's possible, John, and this would interject an element of fairness here, is that given what's gone on, at the end of the half with the hit on quarterback Cooper Hansen, and then the hit on a vulnerable Liam Hines, it may be the case that the officials were stopping the tackle at the forward progress in order to avoid further late hitting and potential injuries, that the officials had a little sensitivity to some of the banging going on. That's apparently what happened here, that there was a whistle blown at the time of the when Hines' forward progress was stopped, and the fumble occurred right at that point. So North Quincy is going to
24-yard line.
take the call, and here we go with a 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line.
Well, that was quite a happening there. So Tyler Lee's going to get the handoff on the first play here, and going to get up to about the 20-yard line.
Now, North Quincy's reacting. We mentioned that the offense had kind of stalled out and stuttered. They're reacting by using a little more misdirection there, and that time Tyler Lee came on a little counter trap play. And a terrific job by P.J. Murphy, a junior defensive back, of staying home, and he held the edge. Lee had to turn it up inside, and gain of 3. It's going to be 2nd and 7 for the Red Raiders.
Liam Hines on the carry. And Hines will get to maybe, we'll see this up to the 19-yard line for a gain of 2.
Yeah, Plymouth South has completely shut down that interior running. We talked about Harry Gaudiano. He was the last guy up. They've been running behind Gaudiano on that right side most of this game, and Plymouth South has really, they've got their linebackers up, and they've really done an effective job of stuffing the gaps here. So it's been less opportunity for Liam Hines and more success for Plymouth South. So big 3rd down play here, 3rd and 5, probably 4-down territory though, John.
I would agree, Jim, as we get to the 2-minute mark here of the 3rd quarter. Play action fake, Hansen looking for Colm Gary in the back of the end zone, and touchdown, North Quincy! Colm Gary goes up to the highest point and brings it down for the 6.
Colm Gary in the corner of the end zone.
Great job by Cooper Hansen. I beg it. Cooper Hansen delivered a beautiful ball to a spot where only one guy could catch it, and catch it he did, as you said, John. Colm Gary got the ball at its high point. There was great coverage by Plymouth South, and I'll tell you, these two teams just keep going at each other. What a great high school football game here. They are really going back and forth. That time the coverage was excellent. The Plymouth South coaching staff's going to really be chapped over this reversal on the fumble, I'm sure, and they're going to have to shake that off, but kudos to the kids. Let's see what happened there. Got flags everywhere. We mentioned earlier, this one's against North Quincy. Wonder if they might consider, against Plymouth South, wonder if North might consider going for 2.
Penalty is against Plymouth South, half the distance to the goal.
So looks like North Quincy will still go for the 1 point.
Yeah, they've got the reliable kicker in Murray. And we mentioned early on the importance of these points after, so I understand this call.
Good snap, good hold, and the kick is good. Murray just did get it away. There were 2 Plymouth South defenders coming up. So with 1:50 left to go here in the third quarter, we are tied at 21. It has been an exciting game here at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, and again, both teams playing, just doing a great job. Plymouth South had the coverage on the touchdown by the Red Raiders, but Colm Geary just made a spectacular play on a terrific pass by Cooper Hansen. Now, one thing I noticed, getting up and going over to the sideline and really balky, having some issues, was Tyler Doyle, number 7. He's one of the guys, is 8 or 9 players who have not left the field here during this game, and number 7 for Plymouth South, senior Tyler Doyle, is one of them. He's played great. I just see problems getting up, and I'm sure he's a bit dinged up as it is, B, very tired. Fatigue's a factor here, but he's over on the sidelines. You see him now, he's walking it off, and looks like he'll be fine. So, but they just keep slugging it out here, John. It's just 2 good football programs really going at each other. Last year's league champ against upstart North Quincy. North led by a terrific group of seniors, and I recall when Coach Craig and all these young men as sophomores
Number 2
2
Thomas
years ago
Murray set to kick off.
showed such promise. Well,
Deep to receive.
now they're
Number
out
2,
here in a
Cassius
terrific
Johnson, and number 4, PJ
head-to-head
Mahoney.
football game.
All right, North Quincy will not kick it deep, so to avoid Cassius Johnson,
by number 40
and it's going
for
to be
the Panthers.
fielded
That's
about the
Eastwood
30-yard line, make it the 29-yard line by Plymouth South, and that's where they'll start.
Yeah, their kicking is really a weapon, and they
Panthers
use it
back on
well.
offense, 1st and 10.
So, good job by North, their special teams. And now we'll see what the defense can do here. Going to be interesting.
All right, so they spot the ball at the 28-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Quarterback Hunter Dean in the shotgun, gives it to Cassius Johnson. Johnson running over to the right sideline, breaks 2 tackles, and will pick up the first down up to the 40-yard line.
Tripped up by number 11, Liam.
You know, last week against Quincy High School, we talked about the dominating performance
of Panther first down.
Liam Hines. Well, this kid Johnson is doing the same thing here today. He's just really physically imposing and asserting himself in this ball game, John. If you can get some stats for our viewers on Johnson so far, I'm sure they'd appreciate hearing his numbers.
He's 10 carries for 193 yards, Jim.
Wow.
And
Number 12, Hunter Dean.
Dean's going to keep the ball and go up to about the 44-yard
Picked up by
line.
number 44, Matt Craig.
Come on, guys. How did you not see that?
You know, nice job by Dean,
To the
who
44.
was down but recognized the fact that he was
Pickup of 3.
on top of
2nd
a
and
Red
7.
Raider player. So no part of his body had touched the ground yet. So he kept moving ahead and picked up an extra couple of yards. Clock is running down. We're under 40 seconds here in this exciting third quarter.
Johnson again on the carry, and looks like he's going to get stopped for maybe
Number
a gain
2.
of 1. Nice job by North Quincy
Johnson.
to come up there and make the tackle.
Great job. I saw big number 78 for the Red Raiders, Sam Akazine, in there. A junior, 6'2", 235. Massive
Down by
and
78,
strong.
Sam Akazine.
And he
3rd
met
and 5 for the Panthers.
young Mr. Johnson there. Mano a mano, brought him down for basically no gain. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 when we return.
And that's the end of the
For
third
what
quarter. We're tied at
we
21.
expect will be a really exciting fourth quarter here of football at Veterans Stadium. I'll tell you what, this has been a terrific high school football game so far, John. That was a great third quarter. Each team scoring. Right now we're looking at a 21-21 football game with neither team looking to give whatsoever. Thought North Quincy was on the ropes a little bit when the third quarter started. Coach Ryan Craig with a gutsy 4th and short call when the ball was at the Red Raider 35-yard line. Red Raiders picked up the first down, kept the drive going. So this is going to be a really interesting fourth quarter.
All right, so 21-21, an exciting game here at Veterans Memorial Stadium for the Fisher Division Championship between the Raiders and the Panthers. And when we come back to begin the fourth quarter, Plymouth South will have a 3rd and about 5 at their own 46-yard line as the teams come back out onto the field. Pass over to the right side, and it is complete to number 4, Matthew Mahoney, and he'll have enough for the first down up to the 46.
Number 4, that's
Well,
Mahoney.
that was just all execution. Perfectly executed play. Hunter Dean hitting Mahoney right on the break. There was nothing that Hunter McIsaac could do on that play other than what he did, which was he brought Mahoney right down. McIsaac was out there all alone, and had he not made the tackle, it was all green for Mahoney, but he made a solid tackle.
Cassius Johnson with a loss there. Colm Gary coming up from his end position to bring him down immediately. Johnson got the ball, and immediately right after, Gary was there to bring him down. So it's going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
Colm Gary.
Yeah, great job by Geary. And
2nd and 11.
then we also saw number 78 in there as well. So terrific job. We mentioned him on the last play, Sam Akazine. They're doing a good job now of identifying Johnson. Johnson is now a wideout.
Hunter Dean keeps it himself, crosses the 45-yard line, puts his shoulder down, and plows through a couple of Raiders. Nice job there by Hunter Dean. He's going to get up to the 41-yard line.
To the 39.
Yeah, we saw more of that from Dean when we saw him last 2 years ago. And we know he's a capable runner. As I mentioned, he's been a little banged up here. Plus, Johnson has just been remarkable. So, Plymouth South doing what North did, North Quincy. They're switching things up a bit, trying to keep the defense off balance. Now they got Johnson in the backfield.
Handoff goes to number 5, P.J. Murphy, and flags thrown on the play. Murphy got up to the 38, but there are flags.
There is a flag
So it's going
on
to
the
be
play.
interesting. I'm going to see what this call is. Okay. It's a hold against
Penalty
Plymouth
against the
South.
Panthers.
North Quincy doing, we got a player down, and it's Johnson. I believe that Cassius Johnson is down at about the 25-yard line. I hope he's okay, and worried that he's holding on to his knee. So everyone's taking a knee, as you can't quite see Johnson on our screen. You gonna run the replay?
Yeah, I want to see if I can get at least for us to take a look and see what happened.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, they seem to be looking
Player
at his
shaken
right
up.
knee. And, yeah, he's grabbing his right knee. Something happened at the point of attack there. Johnson was actually the lead block. And I'm hopeful that what happened was someone got a helmet on his knee or his leg or whatever. He's getting up. Yeah, you know what? I believe
That's
that this
number
was
2, Cassius
an
Johnson.
impact
Let's
injury
hope
and
he's
not like
okay.
a twist or an ACL or something. So he's walking it off, and it appears that he took a helmet, probably to the knee or maybe somewhere in the calf, and hopefully he's going to be okay. That's going to be a tough one for Plymouth South to lose their offensive weapon here, Cassius Johnson. We'll see how they adapt as they face a big 3rd and long here. It's 3rd and about 11 at the North Quincy 48. In the backfield for Plymouth South, in the absence of Johnson, is P.J. Murphy, a junior.
All right, play action fake. Dean down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. Liam Hines, great coverage there to knock the ball away. South is looking for a pass interference call, but no flags. Nice play there by Liam Hines.
Great coverage by Hines. So the two seniors from Plymouth South looking to connect. Hunter Dean was looking for Jack Condon. Delivered a beautiful ball, but number 11, a senior for North Quincy, Liam Hines, on the coverage, and he timed his leap perfectly. Plymouth South has to kick the ball away.
And North Quincy catches a break. It just does go into the end zone. Running down there was Liam Davis, number 10 for Plymouth South, and he dove to try to keep it out, but it just did roll into the end zone for the touchback.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that was McIsaac making a good decision. He let the ball go. He may have got a little lucky with the bounces, but I have no questions about anything McIsaac's doing down on the field today. He has performed terrifically. He's been very effective on both sides of the ball. And this is the thing about the Red Raiders. Guys are special teams, offense and defense. They don't come off the field. And on that particular play, McIsaac made a decision to stay away. Red Raiders trying to continue turnover-free football.
So 1st and 10 from their own 20 for North Quincy. Hines gets the ball, trying to find a hole, and maybe gets a gain of 1. Let's call it 2 on the play up to the 22.
Yeah, the inside the tackle stuff just has not been there, as we've said earlier. Plymouth South seemed to figure some things out late in the second quarter. They got their linebackers right up behind the linemen. That is why North has had some success on their passing plays. They've only had a few passing plays, John, but they've been big strikes. And part of that is because the defensive backs are out there all by themselves, and North Quincy's been able to capitalize.
Liam Hines has 129 yards rushing here today for North Quincy. And looking to see if he can add some more onto that right here with this play. And nice pursuit there by Plymouth South, and I think he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, does Liam Hines.
Knocked out of bounds by number 1.
Yeah, that time they ran to what is referred to as the short side of the field. The ball set on the far hash mark and the right hash mark, and Liam went right. So he didn't have a lot of room to work with. And Plymouth South shut it right down. So going to be a 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 from their own 22.
Yeah, they're going to call it a gain of almost 1 on the play as the ball is just shy of the 23. Clock is stopped here with 8:21.
I think he went out of bounds.
Oh, that's correct.
They gave him out of bounds, yeah. So we've got 8:20 to go. Tie ball game and a big 3rd down.
I formation behind Cooper Hansen. He's looking to pass. Looking, fires down the middle of the field, and it is complete at about the 32-yard line. And let's see who it was. Looks like it was number 21, Nate Caldwell.
Number 21, Nate Caldwell.
Yeah, that's going to be a 1st down. And I'll tell you what, the North Quincy passing game, as limited as it has been, maybe time to go to the air a little more here and see if they can't, as a result, open things up a bit for the running game, because Plymouth South committed to stop the run, and they've done so successfully. Well, that time, nice little pass. They got receiver out behind the linebackers, and beautifully thrown ball by Cooper Hansen, who's a very capable passer.
They talk about South committing to stop the run. They have 10 men in the box. Hines gets the ball over to the left side, crosses the 35, and will mark him down at the 37.
Taken down by number 1, Zach Proctor. Number 7 assisting
North
Tyler Doyle for the
is
Panthers.
very happy to take
to
a
the
4 or 5
37.
yard gain and keep that clock running type play. They want to run the clock down. Geez, I'll tell you what, Liam Hines is definitely all banged up. He's on the sideline. He's trying to compose himself. But this is where North Quincy's depth is going to be a factor for the Red Raiders. We mentioned before about the play of Hunter McIsaac. Well, he's in the backfield right now. They've also got Murray as an option, Tom Murray. So Red Raiders have some options in that backfield. And in addition, we have not talked about him much, and he hasn't been out there as much as we've, or as frequently as we've seen. But Matt Craig, their down back, is also a guy who can perform in that backfield. So a little depth there, and the Red Raiders tapping it now.
Number 22, Hunter McIsaac on the carry, goes up the middle of the field. Nice job there by McIsaac, excuse me. And looks like he should have enough for the first down right at the marker, and he does.
Beautiful little delay and then cut back, and picks up the first down. So Liam Hines is on the sideline. He's taking a knee. He's getting some water. Getting a little bit of a break here. Clock is at 6:30. And so they're going to take that 6-minute break at this point. And I'll tell you what, Red Raiders are in a terrific position right now and hoping to capitalize on it. The game is tied. Teams have really gone back and forth at each other. We're at a point now where the conditioning of the respective ball clubs, and they're bringing the trainer over to look at Liam. I'm not quite sure what the issue is for Liam Hines. He's all banged up. I do know that. But she's taping something for him. And let's hope he can get back in. So 6-minute break is over. Red Raiders are going to go back out there with a backfield of McIsaac and Sean Jackson as the fullback. They've been able to help keep Craig fresh by having him out. Matt Craig has been able to rest a bit and made him very effective defensively.
Hansen looking to pass, has Colm Gary down the middle of the field, and it is actually caught by number 21, Nate Caldwell, who came out instead to get it, but a huge gain all the way down to the 25.
Wow. What a connection there. Beautiful stuff. We're going to watch this replay, folks. And just watch while wait for him to set up. Ball is delivered beautifully, and what a reception in traffic by Nate Caldwell. Nate is only a sophomore. He and Hansen will both be back next year, and I'll tell you, what terrific stuff.
And saying Colm Gary, who's also in that play, Jim, is also a junior as well, so they're going to have, we saw a nice core coming back next year. All right, so 1st and 10 from the 23 now for the Raiders. McIsaac in the backfield, and he's going to get the ball. Oh, nice step there by Hunter McIsaac to evade a defender. He's going to get across the 20 to the 19.
Taken down by number 84, Jack Condon.
Tell you what, Red Raiders coming out with that running game and having success. So they've gone back to the first down runs of 4 and 5 yards. They've got a 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard gain.
For the Raiders.
Terrific job.
Well, you know, Jim, you talked about the passing game, and maybe they should be looking a little bit more into it. That has opened up some of the running game for North Quincy as they've had to take a couple men out of the box to prevent those plays.
Yeah, they've mixed things up a little more here. I mean, there's no question in the first half. You just go with your strength, and that's what the Red Raiders did. No one's questioning anything here, but just so impressed by the coaching staff. They've really reacted well to what's going on during the game. They had a great game plan, you can tell. The boys are very disciplined, and they're playing. There's terrific execution here. They're playing flawless football so far. Of course, we did have that one little call.
So that'll certainly be looked at as we when the game gets over one way or another.
Yeah, the bus ride back to Plymouth will be a long one if Red Raiders can pull this one out.
3rd and 4 for North Quincy. Liam Hines back in the game. He gets the ball. Nice job by Hines. He finds the hole across the 15-yard line. Still on his feet. Gets all the way up to the 10 for the first down.
Tell you what, Liam got about a 5 or 8 minute break. They're in the red zone, and he just came back totally refueled. That was a little old school Liam Hines right there. He wasn't just inside the tackle. That was inside the guards. We got the worst first down you can get with the ball just inside the 10. So it's 1st and goal, but they got to go 10 yards. So let's see what the Red Raiders do. They're going to line up in their power I, their traditional set. But recall the last time they were here, it was a touchdown pass.
3.5 minutes to go, and just as they hand it off, whistles blow, and flags are on the field, and they're going to say
penalty marker against North Quincy, illegal shift.
Well, that's regrettable, and I'm sure Coach Craig isn't happy over what occurred, but you know, again, I mentioned this earlier, John. In some games, we talk about the fatigue factor and the conditioning factor when it's hot out, or if you have a team without a lot of players and options, so there's a lack of depth, and you know kids are going to get worn down. Today, at this point, you've got kids who are worn down by just really going at each other in a real smash-mouth, bang-bang football game that's been terrific stuff, and fatigue is now a factor here.
Hines on the counter over to the right side, and he might have gotten back to the 10. Actually, they're going to say he's out of bounds at the 11.
Down to the 10.
Yeah, it was a little delayed handoff. It just wasn't much there.
Taken out of bounds by several Panthers.
You know, this is a small point, but you see number 11, Hines, coming back to the huddle. He's walking back slowly. There's no rush.
Goal to go from the 12.
On every play, and you see him returning now, Cooper Hansen returning to the huddle. Cooper comes over to the sidelines to get his instructions. And you notice the North kids, they're able to recover a little bit after every offensive play. Liam taking his time getting back to the huddle. So 2nd and a bit to go.
2:59 left to go in the game. Again, a delay to Liam Hines. Same play over to the same sideline. And they're going to say you got to the 10. Actually, they're going to make him out at the 9. So a 3-yard gain. Bring up 3rd and goal from the 9.
Yeah, there's 2:53 to go. And the one little thing that is not a big plus here is that the clock has stopped on each occasion of these 2 runs. So that's unfortunate. Red Raiders are over on the, they're running to the short side of the field, they call it. The ball's on the right hash, and they keep running right. I know that they have confidence in the entire line, but they've been running behind the right side so far here. That's been option 1. They have big number 77, Reen Bago, and then Sammy Akuzine over on the right side. They've been running behind them, so.
All right, 3rd down for Liam Hines. He gets the ball, gets inside the 10, and up to about the 8-yard line where his forward progress will be stopped.
Tackle by number 84, that's Jack
All right, now, see if the Red Raiders are thinking field goal at all here. It'd be a 27-yard field goal. if they were to try it from where the ball is. North's got a tie. The ball's at the 9, so 26-yarder. But it looks like they're not thinking field goal here. We'll have to see what they have in their bag of tricks.
So it's going to be 4th and goal, as you said, Jim, from the 9-yard line. 2:40 left to go. Timeout down the field. I believe Plymouth South called the timeout to help stop that clock and retain some time here.
Oh, Plymouth South called it?
I believe
All right,
Plymouth South
fine.
called it, yep.
Yeah, okay. Well, one thing we do see, or did see, is Liam Hines came off. And he's sitting down, and the trainer's with him. He's in distress. I'm not sure what's up, but... Oh, they've got the kicking tee out there. Maybe that's all it is. That's why Liam's out off the field.
Thomas Murray will attempt.
Here we go. This is big, John. Kicking game. Murray's going to try from the left hash mark.
Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it is good.
Oh, big chop by, what a great kick by Murray. Just inside the far
Thomas Murray.
goal post, and let's just see, that is huge.
Put the Raiders up by 3.
Murray put some loft into that kick, Jim, as Plymouth South was coming, and it took a while to get there, but it was good. The tension there as it went through the uprights, and North Quincy takes a 3-point lead, 24-21, with 2:34 left to go.
Well, we've been talking offense, defense. Well, now we can talk special teams as the Red Raiders, with a field goal, no less. I'll tell you what, this could be a first, at least during our coverage period. They've had some kickers before. In fact, I remember they've had a couple of good ones. But if this holds up and it's a game-winning field goal, there you see it. The ball was set at about the 17, so it was a 27-yarder, and he put it right through the upright.
Thomas
So
Murray set to kick off. Deep to receive. Once again, number 2, Cassius Johnson.
2:34 left.
Mahoney.
Fourth quarter, Red Raiders 24, Plymouth South 21. Red Raiders about to turn the ball over to the very potent Plymouth South offense. And let's see, special teams got to perform first. Great squib kick.
It's been fielded at the 25-yard line by Plymouth South.
Number 40.
Number 40 on the return, Heath McGilvery. And
Number 40
McGilvery's
on
going
the
to get to
pickup,
about the
that's
37,
Heath
make it the
McGilvery.
38.
To the 38-yard line.
Well, here we go. The Plymouth South
and 10
offense taking the
Panthers.
field. Fasten your chin straps, folks, because
2 minutes.
This
and
is the
30
ball
seconds
game here.
remaining in the ball game.
2 minutes, 30 seconds left. Plymouth South offense against a steely North Quincy defense, and let's see what comes of this. There you see two phenomenally talented athletes in the backfield.
Hunter Dean looking to pass, trying to get out of harm's way, has to run it instead. And a big gain by Hunter Dean, nice sidestep. And Dean's going to get into North Quincy territory all the way up to the 43.
Number 12.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was not expected at this point, that a Hunter Dean scramble would, wow, what a pickup there. So what did he pick up on that, John?
It was a 20-yard gain up to the 42-yard line where they mark him down.
Well, I don't think it was expected that a Hunter Dean scramble was going to be in the toolbox here for the Plymouth South offense, but this is just one more thing for the Red Raiders to think about now. Clock running down, 150. Keep in mind, Plymouth South has a field goal kicker as well.
All right, again, Dean in the shotgun, hands off to Cassius Johnson. Johnson to the right side, gets evades one tackle, and Liam Hines brings him down at about the 30.
Tripped up by number 21, Nate Caldwell. Result of that play.
Johnson a little slow to get up here.
Down.
Looks like his right calf might be a little tight, but, you know, young man's only a freshman. He's been getting banged around all game and still in there battling. Very impressive.
So Cassius also went off when he got hit on the knee, but he's back in there. Dean looking to pass, pressure down the middle of the field, and it is almost intercepted
Pass is
Number 5,
incomplete.
PJ Murphy from Plymouth South became defensive back and knocked it away
Intended
from number
for
21, Nate Caldwell.
4.
Nate Caldwell had perfect position on that play. He was inside,
Number 5.
right on the
Murphy
receiver. He basically
turned
jumped
into a
the route.
defensive back.
He recognized the
Incomplete.
post pattern. He ran that
20 remaining.
and came up with the stop there. So clock stops along with that. And so with 1:20 to go here, 2nd and 10 for Plymouth South at the 30.
And they pitch it over to Johnson over to the left
He's
side.
outside. He's got room.
Over the 20, 15, 10, and gets pushed out of bounds there. Big tackle by Liam Hines.
Johnson.
And he's out of bounds at the 6.
Knocked out of
Yeah,
bounds.
Johnson
by number
again
11,
having
Liam
problems
Hines.
with his leg. You can tell when he gets up.
To that play.
But, geez, you put a football in his hands and suddenly the legs work fine. He's going to have a long bus ride
Ball
home.
is
But,
spotted
man,
on the
that young
6.
man is really performing for the Plymouth South offense. Ball is at the 6 now. 1:13 to go.
South has run that play a few times here today, Jim, where everyone heads to the right and Cassius Johnson goes to the left. They pitch it to him, and he's been wide open, and it's been a big gain each time.
Yeah, it's somewhat terrifying to see Johnson out at the edge with a football.
1st and goal from the 6. Dean keeps it himself, and he's going to go nowhere. Probably a loss of 1 on the play. We'll see if they spot the ball.
Dean calls his own number. No gain on the play.
You like to see the Red Raiders, they were pawing away at the football, trying to create a turnover.
Continues to
So,
roll.
no gain, clock running, and the coaching staff of Plymouth South letting it run. It's now at 50 seconds and running. 2nd down and 6.
45 seconds left to go in the game. I formation. They give it to Johnson. Johnson up the middle, and he is stopped. No gain. Nice job by North Quincy to bring him down, and Plymouth South quickly calls a timeout.
Clock continues to roll, and Plymouth South
I'm not
calls a
quite sure.
timeout.
One of the coaches had to
34
come out and call that
seconds
one.
in the game.
Not sure what the players were thinking, but so 34 seconds left. 3rd and 6. The ball is over on the far hash mark. It's interesting, John. I'm a little itchy about that little toss play coming this way, where they just toss the ball to Johnson on the edge. We're gonna maybe anticipate that one coming to the what they call the far side of the field. But man, what a ball game! And these two teams just right to the wire. We said that it could be the case that the last team that has the football is going to be the team that wins this game. And Plymouth South is certainly making it exciting in that respect.
34 seconds left to go. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 6 for Plymouth South.
Plymouth South have timeouts left, John?
I think they have 1 timeout left.
Okay.
So they can't stop the clock again. Dean fakes it over to the right side, has a man in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Plymouth South. Number 4, Matthew Mahoney.
Touchdown, Panthers, number 4. Matt Mahoney.
Comes with 28 seconds left to go.
A nicely designed play. As we said during the timeout, you figured they were going to come this way to this side of the field. And they did. Now let's see. They're going to be kicking.
7,
This
Tyler
is interesting.
Doyle.
This point after
Got
is
the
still
1-point
big.
Conversion, number 11, Henry White to hold.
A good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it is no good. Wide to the
No
right.
good.
So Plymouth South misses the extra point. That gives them a 3-point lead, 27-24.
It's interesting, John. If the Red Raiders can break a kick return, and they've done that here,
In the game.
but if
Panthers 27,
someone can
North
break a
Raiders
kick
24.
return here, a field goal is an option. And let's see. In any event, it's going right down to the wire. What a terrific high school football game. How many timeouts does North have, John?
I think they have their full complement, all 3. I don't think they've called a timeout in this half.
Okay. So that's a good thing. Another good thing is they have a host of talented athletes. They're going to have back deep Nick Pereira, whom we've seen is well capable. Hunter McIsaac. Then a little further up, the short men.
Number 7, Tyler Doyle.
I see Sean Jackson out there. See Nate Caldwell out there. So they got plenty of guys who can return the football.
And that kick just does go out of bounds.
That kick goes out of bounds.
So
There's a penalty
we're going to get
on
a
the
penalty flag. We're going to get the ball at the. They're going to look for a re-kick.
So we'll see what they want to do. So they're going to spot the ball.
Looks like they're walking. Yeah, they're walking the. I wasn't sure whether Coach Craig was going to look for a re-kick here, but they're going to get the ball at the 35-yard line. So Plymouth South got the ball, and they were able to get the points they needed on the board. Now let's see if the North Quincy offense can respond one more time.
35-yard line.
So spot the ball at the 35-yard line. No time off the clock with the kick out of bounds. 28 seconds to go.
Cooper Hansen's done a nice job passing here in the fourth quarter. Gonna have to rely on his arm today.
Hansen looking over to the right side, and it is incomplete. Colm Gary couldn't bring it down at the first down marker, and 8 seconds ticked off the clock. 20 seconds remain.
Yeah, I'm looking at the flag. There's a little bit of flag swirl out here, a little bit of a wind factor that Cooper has to throw into. So that's going to be a factor here.
They're going to come out with 4 receivers. Hansen looking to pass, being pressured, has to roll out, and he's going to get sacked all the way back at the 25-yard line, and North Quincy calls a timeout.
Ryan Craig. You know, I've been very impressed with Craig's game awareness. He's got everything covered.
3rd and 18.
He was right on the official when about the timeout on the fact the clock was still running.
Timeout.
So there's going to be some question about right now the field clock shows 14.1 seconds, but Coach Craig was protesting that, and let's see what they do, whether there's some time added to the scoreboard. But you know, he hasn't missed a trick here, Craig. He's been very alert on all counts here during the course of the game. And
so they're going to put 3 extra seconds back on the clock, up to 17 seconds, Jim.
Yeah, that's a play right there, potentially at least. It gets them one more play. So that was a big defensive play by Plymouth South. Loss. Ball's now down back at the 32-yard line. Loss of 8 and 3rd down.
All right, 4 receivers. Hansen looking over to his right side, and it is, let's see, it might have been intercepted by Plymouth South, and it was. Cassius Johnson came up to make the interception.
Wow. Just a freshman. And quite a play there, I'll tell you. So, Red Raiders in a position where they had to throw to the sidelines, and that's the longest route. You know, obviously, they couldn't throw the ball over the middle. They were looking to throw to the sidelines to stop the clock, and that resulted in a turnover. And so we've got 8 ticks left on the clock. And with a kneel down, Plymouth South's going to be the repeat champions of the Fisher
Knee will
division.
take a knee.
But I got to tell you what, John,
That's going to do
you
it.
go back to
Final
when
score,
this
Plymouth
group
South
first came
Panthers
together.
27,
The current
North Quincy
seniors
Raiders
were
24.
playing as sophomores for North Quincy, and Coach Ryan Craig was relatively new coach, very experienced in football, but new with this group. And if you were to tell us that 2 years later they'd be playing in the championship game, that'd be a win in and of itself right there. An absolutely terrific mano-a-mano, nose-to-nose football game here between two teams. Senior-led, but there are a lot of guys coming back for North Quincy. And got to be really proud of their performance today, even though it came in a losing effort. They getting to this game, huge accomplishment. Playing as they did, another huge accomplishment. This was just a great high school football game.
All right, down in the middle of the field, Liam Hines is talking to Cassius Johnson, two stars of the game here today. Cassius Johnson, 15 carries for 229 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Panthers. So Johnson leading the way. On the other side of the field for North Quincy, Liam Hines, 37 rushes for 148 yards and 1 touchdown himself. So pretty much all day we were saying it was Johnson or Hines for the ball for both teams, and they were leading the way. Real quick for Plymouth South, Hunter Dean, 3 of 5 passing for 17 yards and a touchdown. That 1 touchdown pass went to Matthew Mahoney. For North Quincy, Cooper Hanson was 4 of 10 passing for 84 yards and 2 touchdown passes. One of them went to Nate Caldwell, who had 3 receptions for 65 yards, and Colm Gary with the other touchdown reception, and it was a 19-yard reception for Red Raiders. So again, final score here, 27-24, but an outstanding effort, and it was a great game all around, Jim, and it was probably one of the most exciting games we've seen here at the stadium in quite a number of years.
Oh yeah, that was absolutely terrific stuff. Very high-level performance. I really feel it's going to be hard for, the coaching staff and the kids to accept, words like this, but they played their hearts out. They executed tremendously, very disciplined, very hard-nosed. They did everything really well, and they just got, beaten by a team that, I don't know that they were the better team, but as I said, they were the team that had the ball last. Red Raiders getting it with 37 seconds didn't really count. And just a real Plymouth South is the same program. And I think for Ryan Craig and the coaching staff and the players to 2 years after, they start playing together and get this program moving, for them to say that they belong on the field with Plymouth South, defending league champs, and that they go mano-a-mano from start to finish with them, that's a terrific accomplishment right there. And unfortunately, it's going to have to be enough for the Red Raiders. But just a great football game, John. Very proud of North Quincy football, and delighted for what's ahead, because Ryan Craig's also got kids coming back next year, including his own son. They've got a freshman team that was phenomenal this year. The program is really moving in the right direction, and I think we're going to see more football like this at Veterans Stadium as we move ahead. And it's been a real pleasure to cover this one and the other games we covered this year, John.
Well, I want to thank our cameraman who is up in the booth here today doing a great job. Ryan McWade has been here all season for us, so I want to thank Ryan for another outstanding effort. He had a tough game yesterday when we were here at the Quincy game. He was getting wet trying to keep the camera dry, but doing a great job, and it started to rain here in the beginning of the game as well, but he did a great job for us. Yeah,
Ryan is a real blue-chip talent. Folks, you need to understand that he's the one guy who's been on camera here the whole time, and did an absolutely terrific job. So we're going to do what we can to keep Ryan on the staff as we go forward. And that and Cassius Johnson, a home for the Johnson family here in Quincy, are my 2 goals for next year. It's like Belichick's trying to sign people. I want to get McQuaid and Cassius Johnson signed up for next year.
Long-term deals Jim Timmons is offering up at QATV.
Well, 3 years. That's all we need. 3 years.
Fair enough. So, all right. Well, again, final score here at the stadium: Plymouth South 27 and North Quincy 24. For Ryan McQuaid, who's on camera, and for Jim Timmons, my name is Jonathan Caleri. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of QATV Sports. We'll see you next time.